it. Oh, I think that did it. All right, we are back. All right, turn the monitor off. Okay. And now, yo. That's good. Let's go back to the YouTube. That's good. Twitch is working. Boom. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. We'll get back to it. Don't know where my stream is here, though. Let's go back on the Facebook and show all windows. Whoops. Want to bring up the chat here, having issues with that. Let's try this again. All right, audio's working. Let's just get the restream back up. Applications. I'm pushing my computer to the limit, it seems like. Don't know. Maybe if I just stay on this page, I think it'll be okay. Open in browser. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, feel free to comment. It might help me out, just troubleshoot some things here. Shout yourself out in the comment section wherever you may be listening, and I'll definitely get it. Okay. I'll keep that window up. Make this a little smaller. Give yourself a shout out in the comment section. Really appreciate the feedback. Let's try this out again. This is Nelly INKS. We are live on twitch.tv/Nelly INKS. We are also live on YouTube, Nelly INKS. And we are also on twitch.tv/Nelly INKS. We're going to be doing a little live drawing today. If you guys like the contents of this video, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, follow, subscribe, shout yourself out in the chat section. I'm your draftsman for today, Nelly. You guys can check out my artwork on nellyinks.com, where you might notice a little comic book called Almighty Alma. It's my current work that I've been doing, current piece that I've been working on. You guys can find it for free digitally on the Nelson A. Nunez website. And if you want to support this channel, you'll be supporting my work, the comic, and you'll be also supporting this live stream. I'm going to be on daily, so if you guys want to support, go to nellyinks.com and use the links to order yourself a physical copy if you like. Otherwise, we do have the links to my Venmo and Cash App on the stream. If you guys want to support this channel, you guys can also do so by donating to the Venmo at Nelly INKS or the Cash App $Nelly INKS. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you comment and subscribe wherever you may be listening. Yes, sir. If you are on the YouTube, you'll hear me hit the thumbs up now. Make sure to support yourself. And we'll get back into it. So, let me just make sure this audio works. Sounds pretty good. All right. So what we're going to be doing today, we did some self-portraits yesterday, or just one self-portrait, but a self-portrait nevertheless. Sorry, hold on a second. Did a self-portrait nevertheless. And today we want to continue with the idea of portraiture. I pulled up some images here. What I do on my downtime, if I'm not working on personal artwork or any commissions, then I spend my time making, drawing details. I'm more of a figurative artist, and especially in comics, you're gonna be doing a lot of, drawing a lot of people. You're gonna be drawing a lot of, that's my hand, but we're gonna be drawing a lot of hands and faces and feet, even just full body figures, half figures, portraits of just a face or two faces talking to each other, whatever. But with that being said, what I tend to do on my off time, because drawing is just another muscle. You just have to practice. And one way we can do that is by carrying around a notebook if you have one, or just fill up a sheet of paper with 20 hands, 20 feet, and 20 heads. So since we did some portraiture yesterday, let's continue with portraiture and pull up some drawings, some paintings here that we're going to be copying today. So you guys can get the hang of it, and it's going to also be practice for me. So you guys can watch as I, exercise that drawing muscle that we're all going to be. Hello. Okay, hold on a second. Now something just changed, I'm sure. Let me just check the audio. My microphone wasn't even plugged in all the way. 1 second. I shouldn't have changed anything, but I think I'm okay. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Hello? 1 second. Check. I think that should be working. Hold on. I don't hear it all of a sudden. Let's do this. Go back here. And we can hear you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I just had to plug in my microphone again, so I'm just making sure the audio works. We could hear you before you replugged it in as well. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me just double check on my end here. I'm over on the YouTubes. It should be pretty good. I'm a little laggy here. I'm going to have to exit some screens. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Wow, the microphone sounds good. All right, let's get out of the YouTube. If you guys are listening on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Focus on the lens. I think that's the best I can get, but I appreciate the comment. Let's see. If you guys are on the Facebook, you guys shout yourself out in the chat section. Let's see. And if you guys are on Twitch, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. Trying to get a few more followers so I get a couple more privileges. But let's get back into the lesson for today. Okay, I might be able to just exit all these windows. All right, just to help my computer out a little bit. And we can also bring this up here. Bam. I'll close this window like that. And okay, what the desktop folder. All right. So like I said, one thing we do, at least as illustrators, is me myself as a comic book artist and illustrator. Since we deal with the human figure a lot, we have to learn how to draw hands and feet and heads and faces. So we're just going to be continuing with the portraiture as we were doing yesterday. Yesterday we did a self-portrait, which came out pretty good, I thought. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. But other things that artists do, other than copying from life, either in the mirror or using a model, artists can also use references, such as paintings and whatnot, or photos, either paintings or photos, or even, if you open up your favorite comic and you have something there that you want to copy, you might as well go ahead and do so. That helps you sort of get into how a certain artist works. It helps you sort of copy their hand. What else can you do? Another thing you can do as well is set up a still life, which maybe we'll get into tomorrow. But since we're working with the figure right now, then we'll just do that. You could also copy landscapes is another thing. So one thing you could do, three things. You could copy from life, looking in the mirror or using a model. You can copy using a reference such as a painting and a photo. And the third thing you can do is work from your imagination. That's what I meant to say. Not landscape is a different thing. We'll look into that later in another video. But today we're going to focus on working from references. I'm going to pull up some images that I'm going to work off of. I like to set timers like I mentioned before. And you guys can do so as well if you like. The thing about the timer is, especially if you're doing this project at home and you're trying to, bang out 20 faces, 20 hands, and 20 feet, especially using a sketchbook or a pad, you guys can try to do it quick. Try to do it within 2 minutes or 5 minutes. If 5 minutes is too short, then maybe 10 minutes at max, but try not to do too much erasing. Just pull up a drawing that you like. Another thing that might help you not get too carried away with the practice is, for example, if you have a drawing that you want to copy, maybe you should grab a pen, just any regular ballpoint pen to copy it. That way you won't get too lost in the medium where you might want to erase. Or if you have a painting, then maybe you want to use a pencil to draw it instead. Vice versa, if you have a drawing, maybe you want to take out the brush and copy what you see. The idea with that is to sort of change up the materials so you don't get too carried away with the drawing itself. The idea is to just practice, and the more references and faces and hands and feet that you can bang out, the better you'll be, and the faster you'll be at drawing hands and feet and faces, especially from memory too. One thing that we do as illustrators, we have to, sometimes we don't have a reference as much as we look for it on Google, then we just have to imagine it and work it out of our imagination. So the more you copy hands and feet, whether it's from life or from photos, or even from imagination, the better you'll be at just drawing those things. So without further ado, let me just promote myself one more time. You guys, if you like the contents of this video and whatever platform you're watching this on, you guys can hit the thumbs up if you're on Facebook or on YouTube. If not, you guys can shout yourself out in the chat section. I welcome you guys to do so. Also, make sure to subscribe and follow me, whether you're on Twitch or on YouTube. Could use the subscribers to get a couple more things opened up for myself on those platforms. If I get like 100 subscribers on YouTube, I can get a custom URL instead of just the jarble that they provide you with at first. Other things you guys can do to support the channel. If you go to Nelson A. Nunez, Nunez, you guys will see my comic book here, Almighty Alma. It's available for free digitally. The first chapter is available for free. You guys can read that. I worked on it last summer, and finished it in around November. Finally got it scanned and edited on Photoshop, and it is now on my website, nelsonanunez.com. You guys can read it for free. If you like it, then maybe you guys can donate to support the channel. Otherwise, you guys can really help the channel if you guys order yourself a copy. And it's a 17-page comic. Big pages like this. Very nice. Very happy with it. Stuff like that. Ooh. It is a little PG-13, but just some scenes of some fighting scenes, you know what I'm saying? So yes, sir. So other ways you guys can donate to the channel if, comic books isn't your thing, but you like these live drawing sessions, then you guys can follow me on Venmo at Nelly INKS to donate, or go to the Cash App $Nelly INKS. We had some donations yesterday. We got about $65 in donations. Donos, baby. Let's go, Poggers. We got one from Brian and we got one from Dakota. So if you guys want to donate, you can do that. The Venmo at Nelly INKS or the Cash App $Nelly INKS. Yes, sir. All right. So what am I going to do here? All right, so I'm going to show you my materials. I think I'm going to be copying mostly paintings and some drawings. So that would mean that I could use a pen. Like I said, I mean, no pressure if you have a drawing and all you have at home during this, these times. If you can't go out and get any art supplies, I'm sure it's really tough to do so right now. You guys can just, if you don't have a pen, if you want to copy along with me, get a pen, and that's the material I'm going to be working with. Otherwise, feel free to use a pencil. No big deal. The idea is to try to just do them quick. Maybe in another video, I'll show you guys how to really do like a master copy. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to, the idea is quantity. So we're trying to get as many hands and feet on this page, try to cover as much as possible. We're not trying to be perfect, but the more you copy faces and hands and feet, the better you'll see it in your mind's eye. Today we're going to just be doing faces to keep up with our portraiture. Like we were doing yesterday, we did a self-portrait, and then and that's it. So grab a pen if you got one. I recommend it so you don't think too much about erasing your mistakes. But what I normally work, my tool of choice is a quill pen, which looks like that, something like this. It's basically the pen itself, the holder, and then the nib, which is something like this. It's metal and it's very sharp, so not really made for kids per se, but if you happen to find a feather, there's a way you can cut it, and you can find tutorials online. But back in the day, they used to use a feather and a fountain to dip their pens in, their feather pens. But nowadays we have these quill pens that some comic book artists still use to ink with, along with brushes like these, whatever size brushes they might use to ink with. I'm going to be using the quill pen just because it's been a couple days that I haven't inked with it, so I gotta, keep it going. What else can I say about that? Oh, with the pen, you're gonna, if you do happen to have a quill pen, I'm not sure if you guys would, you're you'll be using inks like, what's a better ink? Yasutomo. This is Black Sumi ink by Yasutomo. Oh, there it is. This is my ink of choice. It's made with animal product, animal glue, so not the preferred choice of people, but it is my favorite ink, and it's very dark, and it's very nice. It holds for a long time. You can also find kid. This isn't kid friendly. It's got a level of toxicity, I guess, or whatever. You can tell because you can't really tell here. There's a label, or you can't really see it because it's covered with ink, but the kid-friendly label would say AP. I think this says C something, CP. I think what you're looking for kid-friendly products is AP. So Yasutomo makes a kid-friendly version of this. Yasutomo. Yasutomo makes a kid-friendly version of this black ink that you guys can use with your kids. However, I understand it's hard to come across these products, so maybe you and your little ones want to just use a pen, one of these fun little pens, and they have different colors. Again, I'm going to be using a pen for this project because I don't want to think too much about the mistakes or trying to be perfect. We're just trying to get as many drawings out, and sometimes I like quality over quantity, but there's also benefits to quantity. The more you practice, the more you do something, the more and more is more, especially with drawing. So, yes, sir. So let's get into it. Another sip of water. Last thing, we have our little bottle cap, and it's, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll do this. All right, yeah, that's better. So here's my pen, and here is my bottle cap that I filled with ink. Again, this ink right here, the Yasutomo. And coffee is really important. A little thing of water, a little jar of water. It looks like ink, but it's actually filled with clean water. Don't take it from me, but you might want to use gloves. I don't use gloves. This stuff just washes off anyways. It does have. It's not non-toxic. It is non-toxic. So maybe you do want to use gloves. I think the idea is not to ingest it. So you'll be fine if you don't use gloves. It's not gonna. Don't take my word for it, but the idea is not to ingest it. So I think I'll be fine if I don't use gloves. But maybe you do want to use gloves. I have gloves at home because of what's going on nowadays. So I have a mask and I have gloves. So there you go. And then finally, if you have your ink rag, you're probably going to need it so you can clean your quill. If I was doing some brush work, then I would use that too to clean my brushes. I would use my rag, to clean my quill pen. You can dip it in water. The thing is that if you're going to be working with it, you might have some droplets of water get stuck on the quill itself, and then sometimes will find its way to your drawing and just make a big mess on your drawing, which is fine for what we're going to be doing today. No big deal. Okay. So there you go. We're going to be copying a few images. I'm just going to cycle through some of the images here that we're going to be working on. You guys can see it on the screen. If you guys are listening, wherever you might be, make sure you shout yourself out in the chat section. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the bell icon for notifications. You can also follow me on Twitter at Nelly INKS. And if you like the contents of this video, make sure you can donate, help the channel by donating to the Venmo at Nelly INKS, Cash App $ Nelly INKS, and also Nelson A. Nunez. If you want to read my latest comic, working on a chapter 2 of this. It's pretty much a reboot origin story. So, but this is the original, the Almighty Alma. That's Alma right there, and yeah, you guys can read it online for free. If you guys want to donate, go ahead and do so. You guys can order it online and get it delivered to you, and that's the great way to support the channel as well. So appreciate you guys listening. Not sure how I'll do this, but my basic idea today is just to fill up most of this page with, I'm going to try to do at least, let's do five faces in with a 5-minute timer. So that'll be about 25 minutes, and I think that'll be enough for before a break. So another glass of water. All right, so I'm gonna be looking at our Degas here. Maybe I need to move this a little bit. Okay. Nice. And we'll bring him up here. Cool. Nice. All right. So I'm just gonna do the face. Degas, French artist from the 19th century. One of my favorite draftsmen. He's a great painter too, but his drawings are fantastic. Yeah, Edgar Degas. You guys could check out his work. Highly recommend checking out his drawings and his paintings. So I'm just going to be copying the face. Don't worry too much about how... Hold on a second. I want to be able to see my work here. Okay. Hold on. Make this a little smaller. That's gonna just have to work. Alright, maybe I won't be able to see the chat right away, but okay. Nevertheless, let's get into it. I'm gonna dip my pen and get into it, man. So I'm gonna start with the ear actually. Can you guys see if I draw over here? I think that's okay. Cool. So I normally start with ears, and I might actually have to clear this up a little bit. All right, cool. So we're gonna do this quick. I'm gonna put on this timer so I don't ramble on too long. Cool, 5-minute timer. Let's get into it. Not gonna talk too much or else I might get carried away. All right, so I'm gonna just follow the neck here, little bit of hair back here, but the most important thing to do is just get going. Don't worry too much about making a mistake. And what I try to do is get the mask of the face, which goes up to the forehead and down to the eyes. He has a pretty narrow face. And then think about this distance again from the chin to the ear. So we don't really see too much of I have to move this actually a little bit too. That's okay. We're going to fill up this whole page with faces, so no big deal. All right. So we have our 5-minute timer. Let me see how far we've gotten so far. All right. So 1.5 minutes has gone by. Cool. So in order to place the eyes, I do the eyebrows first. He has very long eyebrows. Now we can come up here, finish the nose. The idea too with doing these quick, especially if you do them with pen, is that you're more likely than not going to make a mistake. But the more you do this, the more comfortable and sort of it becomes a second nature. You end up coming up with shorthands of, how to do like a mouth. If you don't really have time to focus on the details, maybe you learn how to do a quick mouth without getting lost in the details. All right. Might have to bring that beard down a little bit. All right. So, guys got pretty droopy eyelids. Okay. Hold on a second. I might have to zoom in a little bit. Okay. This eye over here. All right. So again, we're not trying to copy it exactly. We're not trying to make a perfect copy, or else you wouldn't just spend 5 minutes on it. The idea is just to get comfortable making faces. When I was using public transportation, I would be in the subway drawing people. They wouldn't really look exactly like them, but you end up simplifying forms in order to do so. And that's just a great way, I'm not sitting with the person there for too long, maybe in between stops. I have at least maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes max to draw someone before they stand up and go to their destination. So this is my Degas right here. I think that'll be 10 seconds left, so I'll just stop it there. I want to just make sure you guys can see that. Let me bring this up a little bit. Don't go too far on me there. Cool. Wondering how close. Okay. I think that'll do for now. All right.
This camera's okay, but it's a little blurry, unfortunately. Let's see. Alright, that'll do for now. Thank you guys for listening. Let's move over to our next drawing. You guys can either copy off the screen. Feel free to draw Mr. Degas there, or the next drawing we put up, which will be another Degas drawing there. You guys can copy that, or even just copy me as I'm drawing. The idea is to do it quick and not fret too much about the details, okay? Let's go back to, where did I put my, okay, here we go. Cool. Let's bring her up. All right, so if I move this, okay, you won't see that if I do that. All right, so that's next. I'm gonna put on another 5-minute timer, clean my quill pen, drink some coffee. Dip my brush, or sorry, dip my quill. And let's see. Sometimes I like to, hold on, let me clean this better. I do like to start from the ear, so I'm gonna do that. Let's start, maybe start it here. Cool. So, ear. She has a pretty big ear, but there you go. Don't get lost too much in the details. Just give yourself enough. And now, a little bit of her sideburns, if you will. There's a strong line going like this. And then we're gonna go up the temple of her head. Think about this distance here. I think I'm a little too exaggerated. We'll stop there. And then we'll go down. Think about, how can I point out in the camera? Think about just sort of these negative spaces here. Since you guys have the drawing up, you guys can see what I mean as I'm copying. That's where we are right there. But we do have the timer, so don't fret too much about the detail. Here, put her eyebrows in like this. Her eyebrows go down even further, actually. Eyebrows are tricky. They can be pretty long. All right. Down the bridge of her nose. And there is this little negative space here. This is one of the hardest things to draw sometimes. This like second eye that's just looking, you can barely see it. All right. Cool. So let's finish this drawing before it gets too carried away on the details. Okay, her nostril. Let's think about this negative space here. There's sort of, you see on the image there's sort of like a shadow, and then there's this strong line here. I think I got the space wrong, but that's okay. And then it goes down. She's looking a little forlorn. If you guys want to try, you can also talk yourself through some of these drawings. You know, if you want to try to get yourself in the position of the model. You know, the model herself, she kind of looks a little forlorn. So That might inform you a little bit if you do so. All right. All right, so we're getting to the end of this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give her some hair with 55 seconds left. And she has some hair that goes up this way. Okay. And let's finish her mouth. So it goes down here. Her lips. Make sure you get that space. I'm gonna draw her where her lips meet. 16 seconds left. She seems a little sour. Okay, with 5 seconds left, I'm just gonna wrap this up really quickly here. Boom. That maybe I gave her too big of a lip. That's okay. And then she has a pretty round chin. What I might want to do here, so I get the spacing here right for her jawbone, is just go down and try to meet it over here. Okay. She's sitting down. Like that. And this hair sort of meets back here. And this space was a little too big. And then this back here. All right. And she has some hair back here too, but that's the idea. Don't worry too much about the details as long as you have the face, as much detail as you can squeeze in the 5 minutes. So that's our second drawing there. I'm gonna clean my brush, get back to the chat real quick. Appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you shout yourself out in the comment section if you are there. Let's get back to... Okay, that's fine. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, then I'm going to do 3 more drawings and take a break. Okay, so that was her. Another Degas drawing here. Great portraits by him. All right. Okay, so she's done. Nice. Let's go over here. Bada bing. Pulled her up. All right. Let's go back. Hit the 5 minutes. Well, where's our pen before we do that? Nope. All right. Let's get into it, man. Okay. Let's hit the 5 minutes again. Our third Degas drawing here. Let's see, we'll do it over here. So this is all pretty dry by now, so I'm going to put my hands over it. Okay, that's fine. Don't want to get too much into my camera either. How about I'll maybe do it over here. All right. So again, starting with the ears, dip my brush again, or dip my quill pen again. Her ears kind of pointy at the top and then comes down and around. Obviously, the bigger you make the ear, the bigger the overall face is going to look. And then there you are. Let's start by giving her a neck a little bit. And then it goes back here. There she sort of has earrings back there. And her hair sort of pops out from behind. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and draw this headband that she has, hairband. And now I'm going to pick up a little bit of her hair over here and then use that to follow up her hairline. And then think about this sort of distance to here, okay? And it rises a little bit even more. It might not be as, it's a little too steep, so I'm gonna just bring it down here to correct it, and then go back up even a little bit more. Think about the distance from right here to this point up there. Think about that angle and how long that distance is. And then we bring it out. Cool. I think maybe it's a little too wide, but that's fine. Now we're gonna go down. Her eyebrow lines up with the top of her ear. If you see it there, it's gonna be right about there. Her eyebrows, so now where it meets her eyebrows, it goes down. I'm gonna focus on finishing the mask of the face first. Then this point lines up with her inner ear there, opening of her ear. Might have gone a little too much, but it's actually quite a sharp entrance there, and this head is even more inclined. So then from there, her cheekbones, her cheeks come out and down. And now this angle to here is maybe a little too short of an angle, but with 1:30 left, we're gonna just want to wrap it up, you know what I'm saying? Wrap it up, B. All right. And then her clothes here, and we can even pick up her neck. So I think that we actually did pretty well there. So this bottom of her neck before it starts churning lines up with her chin. So I think we did okay. And then we go down for the collar of her dress, I'm assuming she's wearing. Okay. And now, before time runs out, we can go ahead and pick up her eyebrow again. Make sure we give her enough space for her eye. Boom. Then let's go ahead and do the bridge of her nose. I think I just made a little mistake there. And then her nose comes out a little bit more. It's actually almost touching the side of her cheeks there. So we end up there. Everything lines up just outside of this bottom part of her chin. All right, let's wrap this up with a few more seconds. Now here I'm going to draw the bottom of her lip just so I can gauge how much space I have for her mouth. In the last video, I showed you that these 4 points, the 2 points of on the outside of her mouth, the point on the bottom, and then the point up top. So under her nose, you almost see that shadow too. So I'm going to make this point here so I don't go too far out. And then she has her mouth closed. She seems sort of happy, but also Degas probably told her not to smile too much. And then her lips. And then we get over here. And then we come back up. Okay. All right. And just finish off her eyes here. Gonna just do the similar to the mouth. I don't like to set the eyes too soon, or else we are gonna mess up. If you do run out of your time on your timer, just spend the next few minutes finishing off the facial features and then move on to your next drawing so you don't get too lost in the weeds. And then here, the space between here and her hair seems pretty close to the drawing or the painting. This is going to be a little darker. Okay. And then think about the space. Let's see, how far is maybe this to this shadow shape over here. So I'm going to say this is part of that. This is the bridge of her nose, which stops right before the bottom of her eye there. And then we go back to her tear duct and then make a mark for the top of her eyelids. Go back to the tear duct, meet the height of this other eye, and then let's see where, so it just kind of lines up to the bottom right here of her eyelashes. All right. So her eyes are pretty narrow from this angle. And then go up this line. Cool. Let's just wrap up her hair real quickly. So she has hair. Okay, so up and over. She has this over here like that. It comes down. I don't know what this is really. So Degas was an impressionist. He gets sort of like that affiliation. I don't think he considered himself an impressionist, but I can see in some ways he is an impressionist because he's not, obviously there's a lot of detail in this, but then some things like this seem to be more free and loose. I will give her this big bun on the back of her head. Now we go down. All right. That's our third Degas head. Let's take a break. Clean our brush. Quill brush. It's pretty clean. Just make sure if you are using a quill, make sure your quill is clean of hair. All right. Let's get back to the chat here. Jose, ¿qué pasa, primo? I hope you're good. Bless. Thanks for listening. We're just drawing here. Let's get back to If you guys are listening, you like this content, make sure you follow your boy. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the thumbs up. If you're on Twitch, you guys can follow, subscribe. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys see the Venmo links at Nelly INKS on Venmo and $ Nelly INKS on the Cash App. Jose says everything's good. Hope you guys are well. Estamos bien aquí, primo. No te preocupes, no te preocupes. Don't worry. Okay. Let me just gonna bring up something real quick here. Whoops. I hope you guys didn't hear that. That's so embarrassing. Alright, sign in. Alright guys, thanks so much for listening. Appreciate it. Let me just go to restream here. Alright. Sending data, retrieving data. Cool. Seems like most people are watching on Facebook. I really appreciate it. We also have our YouTube. If you search Nelly INKS, Nelly space INKS, and we are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nelly INKS, NELLYINKS. And if you like the contents of this video, I ask you to donate. Any little bit will help support the stream, help me know you guys are interested. That's Venmo at Nelly INKS, Cash App $ Nelly INKS, and you guys can go to my website, nelsonanunez.com. Nelson, Nelson, initial A, last name Nunez, Nunez, nelsonanunez.com, and you guys will see this comic up there digitally. If you guys like that, you guys can donate via the link. And if you want to get yourself a copy of this comic, you guys can do so. They're still doing deliveries, so you guys can order the comic if you like it. 17 pages, and I think we did a good job with it. So guys, go check that out. Nelson A. Nunez. Feel free to just read it, for free. It's available for free. I'm going to be posting more comics up there in the near future. Got a little delayed because of the the thing that shall not be named. But yeah, man, I hope everyone's doing well. Stay hydrated. We're going to get back into it. All right. Let's bring up our fourth face here. Nice. More female faces. This one's a little more in profile. I think I have a pretty good variety here. I have one face looking dead on. The other one's facing to her left. The other one's kind of looking dead on but facing to her right, and now this one's a complete profile. So let's bring her up on my computer. Okay, buddy. Cool. So the more you do this, you'll do it differently. I don't always start with the ear. Maybe I'll just start with the outline of the face, or maybe I'll start with the forehead. Sometimes I like to get that outside edge out here, but starting with the ear is pretty good too. And I'm just gonna keep pushing with the ear like I've been doing. All right, let's put some time on our timer. Bam. 5 minutes. We're going to do our drawing right meow. Right meow. Maybe out meow or meow. Right meow. Right there. Cool. All right, starting with our ear again. She's got a pretty good ear in this drawing, and this, I think it's a pastel that Degas used here. Or it might just be a study in paint, in oil paint. It's quite the study though. Look at that ear, bruh. Look at that ear, bruh. That's some ear, bruh. Alright, so I don't think I got the right pitch, the right angle of this. It's kind of flat like that. Keeps coming out. Okay. Cool. So I'm just holding, if you guys do feel like, using ink, I'm just holding my bottle cap here. So I'm not, it's just easier to keep dipping as I'm going along. The further away it is, the more likely my pen is just gonna get dry before I even put it down. So whatever. So let's do the neck. You guys can kind of see a T shape here. You see that ear is very pronounced on the bottom, and then the side of her neck is at an angle as well. Maybe that's a little too strong, that angle, but you guys got kind of something like that. And then it comes over like this. Maybe you do want to do the jaw. Let's just do the jaw for heaven's sake. And it kind of comes in that way. I'm hitting it with a light touch so it doesn't get too dark. Maybe I won't like it. Seems like this collar got a little too far up. And then there. I find that out of the eyes, nose, and mouth, I find the mouth the toughest thing to do. So I'm going to go back to my ear and follow this hairline up, because I can figure out how high things go. And she does have hair, but I'm just going to move across. Okay. And her chin and her forehead kind of line up the same place. Okay, so now we can go down. Like I said, ears are great to just locate things. So from the forehead, from the top of her head, we can go down to the top of the ear in relation to like going across, and that'll get us to her eyebrows. You go in to her eye and then back out. Think about this negative space, and it kind of looks like a T if you're looking on camera there at the image. Kind of comes out. Noses are really tough. They're half bone, half cartilage. But they're not as tough as mouths to just go ahead and do out of the blue. There you go. So one thing you guys can do, so we just brought this line down to the top of her lip. Another thing you can do, oh, this is pretty easy there. You can just bring that in like that. It might be a little too much. And then out again. And this is what you call sort of like the silhouette of the face. And we're working with a French artist, so we got to use the French names. All right. Probably made that chin too long, and I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to stop my timer and just finish out these facial features. Let's see. So it comes up here. This is very pronounced on her. And then I'm going to, she seems even more unfriendly than the last lady we did. So going to give her a bit of a frown. A lot of a frown. It actually kind of goes up to here. So that's the end of her mouth. All right, that seems pretty accurate. And then her lips rise and meet this point out here. Cool. Let me see if I can clear that up a little bit for you all there. That's a little up. All right, so I do have a weird thing on my camera, and I'm not sure if I can clean that on the spot, so that's okay though. I don't think it gets in the way of the drawing. All right, that's her nostril. She does have a bit of a wrinkle here. I'm going to just draw the faintest thing, something like that. You don't want to make it too strong, or especially if you're drawing this. Using ink is kind of in the middle between drawing and painting, because you can use a brush with it as well. If you make that line too strong, she's going to look like an old lady, and I don't think she is. If anything, she's, in her 20s or in her 30s. But if you make that line too long, and it is long on the painting, but if you make it too long as a drawing, she might look older than she's supposed to. So just going to make a hint of it, and I can readdress it later in another drawing. But let's wrap this up. Let's finish this eyebrow. She barely has much eyebrow action going on. And then the end of her eyebrow, it goes down and almost into, I don't think it rises that much actually what I'm doing here. So I might actually have to lower this to get closer to the bridge of her nose, and so that we don't rise too high. But nevertheless, I'm going to bring it back down. It's a little dirty. And how far away from the face is that? Okay, now we can do our favorite part, which is her eye. So you can go ahead and pair her eyelid with her eye itself. Just make sure you respect this empty space there between the bridge of her nose and her eye, the outside of her eye. And keep looking at the ear in relation to her eye, and see how far down in comparison to the ear are you going to go. You're not going to go down here to the bottom of her ear. It goes about halfway. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on the eye itself, the shape itself. Kind of seems like it's kind of like a triangle on its side. And it's like that. I think that's good. And now we're going to go over here. And just so we can wrap it up, do that. And now we'll do the eyelid up here. One thing I've been learning the importance of, because when we start drawing, normally the advice is not to get lost in the details. So if you get too lost in the details of the eyes and nose and mouths and whatever, you're not going to get the overall picture. But the more I draw, the more time I start having for those little details, because I've, become a little faster at drawing. But so one thing I've noticed is sort of everyone's eyelids are all different sizes and shapes. So it's not just the eye, but the eyelids, and it's not just the mouth, but the lips themselves all have different shapes. Ears are all different. Everything's different on different people. Maybe you have the same shape inside the ear, but the size of the ear itself is bigger, or you have small ears, you have earlobes that attach to the ear. Nevertheless, with eyes, I've noticed a lot the eyelids lately. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I lost my. Oh, and then we are not really going to do many expressions today, I don't think. But then also drawing open mouths with teeth in there is, something special. Maybe we'll look at expressions in the future. Um, Perhaps we'll set up a schedule where it's Mondays we do self portraits, Tuesdays we look at drawing from references, drawing faces. So this week we'll just draw faces, but maybe next week we'll draw faces and certain expressions, so you guys can follow along with me. Um, I think that's it. Let me just do the outline of her hair and not get too lost in her details. So. This can actually even come down further. That seems pretty good, actually. And give her some of the hair that's lined up there. And this little eyelash that pokes out from the side as well. Boom. And where else? Can keep going up here. There's sort of like an indent up there, and then it keeps carrying up. Up, up, up. Okay. Comes down. She kind of got like a mullet. And then she sort of has some hair here on the side too. Cool. All right. I think we're done with Madame. Let's pull up our fifth and final image of this first session. Like I said, I try to do 20 of these, and none of them come out as accurate as this. And this is hardly accurate, but you know, it's the idea of just quantity right now with these. So if you do that, and remember, I do 20 hands, 20 feet, and 20 hands every other day practically. I mean, there's definitely don't sharpen your knives too much, but at a certain point you got to cut the steak. You got to stop sharpening, but this sort of project helps you sharpen and sort of work out that exercise that muscle, that drawing muscle, so that when you do get into the nitty gritty, when you get into the thick of a drawing, get into a drawing, get into your own personal work, then having exercised this muscle or sharpening these tools will serve you better when you finally get into a commission or something. So let me see if I have some space here for a drawing. I might be able to do that. Okay, or I can even, yeah, I think that's enough. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, and I might have to lower it also. Okay. And cool. Now we have space for a few more faces. Let me just make sure how far I can lean in without getting into the camera. Oh, that's okay. I'm not going to be leaning in that much anyways. Okay, perfect. All right. Fifth and final image. Let me get back to the chat. Oh, I don't really like that now, looking at hindsight. Let's do two faces in one in 5 minutes. All right, hold on a second. All right, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys shout yourself out in the chat section. say hello. Let me know you're listening. If you guys are on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow your boy. You guys can see me on twitch.tv/nellyinks. If you like the contents of this video, send over a donation if you like. Every little bit helps the stream. Go to Venmo @nellyinks or the Cash App $Nelly INKS. Yes, sir. And do me a favor, go check out Nelson A. Nunez for more artistic content. All right. Appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna just go over to my YouTube page, actually. YouTube. Nelly INKS. Boom. All right. Does it say we're live? It doesn't say we're live, does it? Oh no, we are live now. Yes, sir. Oh, we're good. I'm just going to...
Live? It doesn't say
Whoa, 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 whoa. We don't need all of that. Cool. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Groovy. Okay. Let's get our fifth and final image. Otherwise, let me see. Yeah, no. Let's stick with these two. Now, I'm just going to do them quick. I'm going to try to do both of them as quick as I would do a drawing. Okay. All right. This one's going to be a little more loose. I'm going to put on my 5-minute timer. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with our lady here. Cool. She's going to be right here. I'm going to just start, since we don't really see much of her head, I'm going to just start with just the mask of her face. And then going down the side of her face. And let's put her ears in now. Maybe a little too wide. And then she has her hair appearing from behind here. And then her neck. Cool. I think I went maybe a little too far down. Over here, let's do her. Let me actually do the part of her hair. So that comes up. The top of her head is the top of her head. All right. Cool. One thing you might, for these purposes, it's fine to make mistakes. But if you can, try not to go over your lines. Just live with them, you know? Don't try to correct a line. Try not to, what's the word? Be decisive on your lines. Take a lot of care with your mark making. I'm gonna try to avoid drawing her hand as much as I can. Okay. Right. So she looks pretty concerned, and every little thing you can tell yourself, any mental notes you guys can make might help. If you say out loud that she looks a little concerned, maybe you'll notice that those eyebrows are pretty high. All right. And let's go down here. And then go down. And the tip of her nose just pretty much goes down to her ear. And we were just talking about open mouths, mouths agape. Okay. So I'm going to put the top of her eyelids because she has pretty droopy eyelids. We might have to just... I kind of lost track of the time here, so we'll focus on old boy later. Maybe I'll just do it pretty quick after the timer goes off on my lady. But she looks pretty concerned and she does have pretty droopy eyelids. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And put her other nostril over here. I think I made her features a little too wide. And we go up here. That eyelid up here for some reason was so high, but over here is not as high. So that comes over there and meets down here. But there is still that space, so mind those eyelids when you're doing your eyes. And you'll be a lot better for it. Okay, see, I made that a little too wide. I think it's messing with my drawing because I'm not drawing the hand either, but that's okay. And we go up. Those tear ducts. There's a lot of that shadow here that's making it a little tricky to do. All right. Let's see if we can get that expression. So I'm gonna do that chin here. And I kind of want to correct, even though I told you guys not to go over your lines. And do, let's see, the space from her chin up to the bottom of her lip. And how far out, let's see, this nostril is too far out. How far out is her mouth in relation to her eye here on the right? It's pretty much just under her pupils. And then the top of her lips are about this much space under her nose. And then she does have her mouth being covered. Okay, so now I'm going to part her lips. You can barely, this is probably not the best picture to copy from because it's just not the best reproduction that I found online. And you guys can't really see how clear it is. Let's get into that face. Okay. I think it was a little too short. It should be coming up here probably. Her forehead's a little higher. And then this is maybe a little too flat. She looks like she has a flat top. Okay. All right, now real quickly, I might just do this as a contour drawing. I would just put on a timer in case I get too carried away. But let's just go ahead and freehand a little bit this gentleman's face. gonna do it as a contour drawing, so I'm not lifting my pen. Just gonna go ahead and draw this how I normally would draw this without thinking too much of how it looks on stream. So let's get his hair out of the way, shall we? So I think this should actually be even higher. That's okay. His hair kind of climbs up. So the idea is not to be perfect. Maybe I've been a little too labor intensive on these drawings still, as much as I told myself not to be. And then the top of the ear going in and over here, boom. Oh shoot, I lifted my pencil or my pen. That's okay. All right, so now we go down. How far down does it go? Boom, we look at the ear and we know right away. And then maybe this. And then his eyelids over here. And then right under there, I'm gonna put his pupils. He's kind of looking too far away in my drawing. All right. Then we'll come across and follow. I think his head seems a little tilted. All right, and now throw in that eyelid here. All right. And now let's finish the eye. And as it comes over, and get that mustache out of the way. And the beard. Come across here. We get the mustache. And we go up, down, over to the side. There's really not that much space in between the collar over here. It's mostly beard. Quite the righteous beard this gentleman has. Mustache comes right under his nose. There's a little open space there under his nose. And then pretty much mustache going over his lips. Cover this up a little bit. And then up here, boom. All right. And now, let's get this beard done. That's pretty much all we have left anyways. Cool. And it comes up and around. So that's our gentleman there. That should basically be the speed you're working at. The lady didn't really come out very well. She's kind of got her face covered. In some cases, I might draw that hand again. Maybe over here on the side. I would just do that really quickly like this. Get her hand out. And then draw the face along with it. And maybe just do sort of like the outline of the hand. Just so I have like the endpoints. Don't worry too much about the details. But if you are doing hands, you can draw the palm first, and then then sort of like annotate where those knuckles are gonna be, like that. And now we can get that pinky out facing this way. And then see what the space between those fingers are. It goes even further up. And these ones are all bent as well. And they go up. She's sort of really pressing against the side of her face there. I don't know what happened in this scene. And then this hand goes up as well. Something like that, but you guys can't really see it down there. So I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, refill my bottle, get some more coffee. Let me go back out a little bit. So that's our drawing at the moment. We'll flip over to a new page and make another set of drawings. Oh. Seems pretty good. No, wait, hold on. Boom. That's a little better. Awesome. Let me get back to the chat. All right. Amaryllis in the chat. Hola primo, hola prima, ¿cómo estás? Multilingual stream, word up. Let's get back over to Facebook. I gotta refill my water bottle, get some coffee. I'm sitting on a hardwood chair. Probably gonna put a pillow down. I appreciate you guys listening. If you guys like the content, I ask you guys to subscribe and follow me on twitch.com/nellyinks. You guys can donate to the channel if you like the content. You guys can go over to my Venmo at Nelly INKS or the Cash App $Nelly INKS. If you guys are on Twitch, make sure you shout yourself out. Todo bien aquí. Todo bien. Gracias. Everything's good. Yo también me tomo un café. I also drink coffee. Coffee's good. All right. Appreciate you listening. And if you guys want, go over to nelsonanunez.com. Nelson A. Nunez, NUNEZ.com, and you guys can see my comic book, which is pretty much the work I focus on outside of the stream, especially now that we're on the lockdown. But yeah, you guys can go over to Nelson A. Nunez. There'll be links there if you guys read the comics and you guys want to support. It's okay if you guys read it digitally. It's free. It's digital. It's free. But if you want to donate, there'll be links there. Or if you want to order a copy for yourself of this beautiful comic that you'll see on the website, Nelson A. Nunez, you guys can order on the links provided to get a copy of it yourself. It's very nice. It took me all summer. Deals with Alma, who is a pugilist. She is a crime-fighting female vigilante who ends up getting a message from the future and she's so benevolent that she answers the message and figures out a way to the future. So, interesting stuff. I'm working on a second comic, a reboot actually, an origin story, and so I could focus more on the story itself. The idea with this comic, when I wrote it, I was making a page a week, and so I was a little more focused on the visual nature of the comic, how it looked, and Not so much on the story. I had a story idea, but I hadn't really cemented it. But I worked on the visuals and got it done. Currently, I'm working on the origin story, so I'm getting a little lost with the story itself. But I pretty much have it done, and now I am halfway through drawing the pages. So next step will be finishing the drawings and then getting the ink down, and then I can present it to you guys hopefully by next month. We'll see how it works with my streaming schedule. Maybe I can just do it all on stream, but let's see how this first week of stream goes. So appreciate you guys listening. I'm going to step up now, refill my water bottle, get some coffee, and then we will work on what's the next image. Let me see. I'm gonna do that another self-portrait. This one's by Michelangelo. Let me upload some of these new drawings. Actually, hold on a second, y'all. What do I do? I guess you're gonna see this if I do it, probably. That's okay though. Let's see. So images. Okay. Browse. All right. So untitled folder. Okay. Boom. That's going to be the next image. Not very good, but that's okay. So 1, 2, let's add 3 more for the next half of this stream. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Browse. Where are we here? Okay. As well. Bring this down. These are all Leonardo da Vinci's. The Italian Renaissance artist. I think that's okay there. Put this more on this side. That's fine, actually. What do I need? 2 more? All right. Boom. 3, 4. All right, let's lower her, make her a little smaller. Cool. Boom, boom. Don't have to see you. Nope. Nope. 4. And 1 more. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, then we'll just grab a Caravaggio. Oh, you can't really see the head on that one. All right, maybe I'll do this one. Boom. Saint Catherine. Caravaggio, another Italian artist. One of the best, in my personal opinion. Cool. All right, so we got our drawings ready for the next half. Let's see how long I've been live. I'm gonna just try to match the time, my time yesterday. Had some hiccups here in the beginning of the stream, so I don't want to rob you of your time, guys. Let's give you a full stream. Hold on. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Where are we here? Let's see how long I've been live. I don't think Restream tells you. We have been live for... That's another thing. If I get a bunch of subscribers on Twitch, I would be, actually no. You need to have a whatchamacallit. You need to have a PC actually to get some of these apps for Twitch. So I'm not sure if there's a lot of support for Mac. But if you guys help the channel, if you guys feel like donating to improve this stream, you guys can do so on Venmo at Nelly INKS, Cash App, $ Nelly INKS. And yeah, man, I'm gonna go get some coffee and some water, and I'll BRB. All right. We got our coffee. We got our water. We got our hazelnuts. All right. How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Washing your hands, keeping your face covered. You guys know the deal. Let's check out the chat. If you're listening and you're watching and you can, make sure you comment in the chat. Love to interact with you guys. Let me know what you want to see next on the stream. Okay. We have been on for almost 2 hours. All right, so we'll do this last bit of drawing. I might actually bring up some other drawings here, some other paintings. Because there's a few I probably don't want to copy. That's a tricky one. All right, I'll do that one. The most important thing about art is to have fun. Second most important thing about art is that you can't really make any mistakes. Can't really make any mistakes. And like Bob Ross says, well, I don't think he really says that, but any mistakes you make are going to be happy mistakes more likely than not. If people don't like your work, they don't like your work. more often than not, they're not going to tell you, but if you do, take it with a grain of salt. Criticism is, well, criticism can be useful. Just don't take it too seriously. Someone might be having a bad day and could say something that might turn your world upside down for a second, but the most important thing about art is to have fun. It is a luxury to have art, but it's also a means of survival. Like, why did cavemen make paintings? They were using it to tell stories and whatnot. So something that's not essential for, everyday life, like food and having a roof over your head, but making art is important and a way of expressing yourself. All right, but enough about that. It's gonna bring up some more images for my last bit of drawings here. I'll have about 10 heads drawn here, so after I finish my stream, I'll probably just work in my sketchbook and do about 10 hands and 10 feet. Normally, if you do 20 hands, 20 feet, and 20 faces, I think you'll be in pretty good shape. Obviously, you need to practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Not so much making it perfect, but making you used to it, and eventually you'll start making, you'll be able to do this out of your imagination. One thing you can do as like a precursor for tomorrow, for example, actually we won't be working from imagination tomorrow. We would be working from imagination if I decide to work on my comic on stream. I think it's a little tricky and I haven't done that before and I'm a little self-conscious. I'm gonna fix my hair there. But yo, I think the audio sounds okay. Yeah. Let me actually just test the audio one time for the one time. Let's see where we're at. Get back to the chat. Beer is good. Beer is good. 93 in the Twitch chat. It says, hey, yo, what's up? What's good? Beer's good. That's what's good. All right. Thanks for joining the stream. If you guys are listening in on Twitch, shout yourself out in the chat section. Make sure you hit the follow if you like the contents of this video. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by donating to @NellyINKS. You can also donate Venmo @NellyINKS or Cash App $Nelly INKS. All right, appreciate you listening. Gonna do a last five or six faces. Let's get back to our stream over here on OBS. I'm gonna change up. Thanks for listening, guys. Beer is good as long as you're of age and you're drinking responsibly. Do not drink irresponsibly, and make sure you guys stay in one place. It's illegal to operate a vehicle under the influence. Family stream, y'all. Family stream. All right, let's put our tape back down. It don't matter how we do this, really. Okay. Bam. We put this down right here. All right. Boy, take a little sip of my coffee. Get back into it. Appreciate you listening. 2 people watching. Make sure you guys shout yourself out in the chat section. Hope this video finds you well during the lockdown. Hope you guys are doing all right. Thanks for spending time with me. I don't need to be here. What am I doing here? Okay, let's get back to the chat. Yo, 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 beer is good. Amaryllis in the chat. Jose in the chat. Grace in the chat. Appreciate everyone listening. If you can't comment now, do so in the future when you have a chance. We're about to get started. Yes. Okay. Cool. So I'll stick to a 5-minute timer here. Let me check what this Tang is. Okay. Nice. Very good. Very good. Okay, I can just turn this off. I don't want to mess around. Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's do this quick. Boom, I'll get back to the chat soon. Let's look at what our next drawing shall be. Fix my camera here a little bit. Okay. Make a little more space for my camera here. Make a little more space for my camera here. And how do I play around with this Tang? Oh. Oh my. Boom. That's a direct view as we're gonna get, I think, for this final portion of our stream. Can do a little better, I think, though. That's better. Still want to lower it a little bit more. And there, that's the money spot right there. That's the money spot right there. Alright. Bruh. Stay still. Alright, that'll do. That'll do. Oh, don't go too far. Alright. Let me move this camera over. Alright, so let's see what drawings we have up here. We did this one, and we did here. And we did this one. No, we didn't. Alright. I have so many more drawings, or so many more paintings, so maybe we'll... I don't really like that. How many do we have left? 1, 2... This one's good. Oh, that's a pretty angel right there. Okay. Cool. Bam. There it is. So a bunch of Da Vinci's are pretty androgynous. It's hard to tell if that was a female angel or a male angel. I can't say I've seen, well, in paintings, I can't say I've seen many female angels, so I think that's supposed to be a garçon. Yes, let's go back down. We got Mablery. Thanks for joining. Mablery. Thanks for joining the chat. They say hello. Hello, Mablery. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Beer is good. Amaryllis, Jose. We got Grace as well. Appreciate everyone that came through hanging out with your boy. All right, I just got lost in this chat here. Hold on a second. What? What? Oh no. Okay, I think I lost my chats here. It's all goody. I saw your messages, so thank you guys for joining me. We're gonna get back into this drawing. Make sure you shout yourself out if you are listening. I'm gonna get my second portion of this stream going. We have been focusing on portraits. Whoa. We have been focusing on portraits. Whoa, what the heck is going on? Okay, that angel's gonna stay right there, I think. Nope, okay. Oh, here we go, boom. Sweet. So yeah, yesterday we did a self-portrait that you guys can do very easily, basically with a pencil, paper like this one here, and a mirror. So you could set up in the bathroom and do that. That works, you know. 3 ways that artists get better at drawing in general. They get better by copying from life. So whether you're in the mirror drawing yourself, or if you're looking at a friend and drawing them, that's one way to get better as an artist, as a draftsman, as a drawer, or a painter. If you have a chance to set up and paint from life, that's going to help a lot. Another way you can improve as an artist, for me as an illustrator, not just drawing what you see, but also looking at references like the one we have there with the angel from Da Vinci. The better the artist, the better the reference, I would say, but also you want to have clear references. The clearest references you guys can get are probably from museum websites, and a lot of their collection from museums are going to be on their website, and you'll have the most true copy reproduction that you can download from a museum website. I didn't do so for this because I was kind of running behind on stream, so you can do that. So first way, copy from life. So draw from life, draw yourself in the mirror, or just look at your hand or look at your feet and draw what you see. Any everyday objects or whatever. So first step to improve, draw from life. Second step to improve, draw from references, whether they're paintings or photographs. And third method of improvement, drawing from imagination. So one way you can do that is just, for example, we just copied a lot of drawings from Degas, and they're somewhere in your memory bank. So what you can do after the stream is take a good look. For example, take a good look at that angel, memorize, try to close your eyes and bring that image of the angel into your mind's eye, and with that image in your head, then try to draw it without looking at the reference. Try to just get as close to possible. So without looking at the angel, let me see, I'm up here, so I'm going to look at this is kind of going ahead of myself, but one way you guys can improve your drawing from imagination is look at your reference, or if you're either you have a reference or you have something you're working from life, or you can just come up with something, just conjure up something into your mind's eye and just draw it, whether it's everyday object like a light or a fan. Try to draw it, or if you have a reference in front of you, whether it's from life or from the computer or a photo, look at the reference for 15 to 20 seconds, 10 seconds even. But just focus on the painting or the photo or the drawing. Figure out what you want to draw. Look at it for a good 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. Try to think of the angle. I'm looking at the angel now. Think of the angle, the angle that the head is pitched, whether it's leaning over to one side, maybe it's looking up or down, or if it's rolling its neck around. Think about what's in the image. Maybe there's a shoulder, the neck, there's some neck muscles, and then big curly hair. Where does the hair part? Think about the big shapes. It's pretty much a big circle, the base of the neck a little bit, and then the big shoulder. So once you've considered that for 15, 20 seconds, then you look away from the drawing and just start drawing, okay? So don't think too much. Maybe just draw the outside features, the neck, and then totally forgot what. Okay, so for example, something like this. I think the angel's looking that way. Can you guys see that a little bit? Not really. But something like that. So look at the painting for maybe 20 seconds, and then draw for another 20 seconds. And that will be your exercise for improving your drawings from memory. Something like that. I don't think there was an ear in there. So something like that. Little easy things like that's gonna help. I think you can see that's okay. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom. No, it's gonna not work. I don't want to move the camera too much, but that's the example, okay? So it's not gonna look exactly like the reference, obviously, the big eyelids here. But the more you do that, the better you'll get from by drawing from imagination, and probably the longer those images will stay in your mind, so that you can conjure them up and draw them at any time. So, without further ado, let me get back to the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. If you guys are listening, make sure you hit me up in the comments section. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you're on Twitch and YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Okay. If you like the contents of this video and you want to help, the best way to do so is by donating to the Venmo. You see the link on the screen at Nelly INKS on Venmo, and the Cash App is $Nelly INKS. If you guys want to check out my work after this, go to Nelson A. Nunez, where you can get a copy of Almighty Alma, this comic here. Nelson A. Nunez, Nunez, Nelson A. Nunez, Nunez.com, NelsonANunez.com. You guys can read the comic for free, or you could donate if you like the content of the website. And if you want to order yourself a comic, you guys can do so on the links on the website. All right. Those are the best ways to support the channel. I appreciate you guys following and listening, and have fun drawing, guys. All right. A little bit of coffee. Okay, cool. Still have enough ink, so that's good. Let me see if I can make this any clearer. Oh, nope. right, that's probably gonna be the best I can get it. All right, so I'm working with my quill pen still. Looks sort of like that. The top comes off, it's a metal nib, and then the bottom is just the pen part of it. So the metal nib just goes onto the top of the pen, and then you have ink, like the black Sumi ink from Yasutomo. Not safe for kids, but they make a kid-friendly version of this, and it should have the AP label. You can't really see it, but it should be on the back, and it'll say AP. If you're not sure about which label is which, if you're at the art store, if it's open, go to the art store. Just pick up a Crayola crayons, or whatever. Yeah, anything that's normally kid friendly, like Crayola products. Take a look on the back. I'm pretty sure it's AP is the label you're looking for. And when it comes to other things like paints and inks, if they have the AP label, then it's okay for kids. Generally, at least for the ink that I'm using, it's mostly just not safe if you ingest it, or if it gets in your eyes or whatever. Yeah, a little toxic that way, but if it gets on your hands, just to wash your hands. I don't have that much on my hands anyways. Or if you're really a germaphobe, then you can just wear gloves. Is another easy way to do so. All right, so let's draw this angel here. And we're gonna make five more faces, and we are gonna bounce so I could get to my comic and finish that. I would do my comic on stream, but I'm feeling a little self-conscious about it. Maybe on another stream I'll do a comic page that's separate. Maybe I can come up with a lesson plan. If you guys have kids, if you guys have kids at home and you want to do some arts and crafts or some art projects with them, I also have those available. I have about 3 of them available on Nelson A. Nunez for you guys to check out. Whew. Okay, maybe I can't have hazelnuts on stream. All right, so 5 minutes on the timer, and let's get into it, man. Let me just see. My head doesn't get into the drawing if I lean in. Oh, it does a little bit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take up most of the real estate here. How far up can I? Okay, I'll do it right there, right here. All right, so starting with the part in the middle, and then seeing how far it goes over here. We don't really have ears to rely on, so I'm going to bring this over here, the eyebrows, I'm sorry, and then over there, and this eye comes in, and we have that fold for the eyelids. Let's see which is the best way to move down from here. Cool. Let's finish out this portion of the eye, the other eyelid. And if you see that angle here, so the angel's head is kind of rolled over and slightly tilted down. If you look at the original image, the viewer is kind of looking down at this angel. So that's why, those eyelids and those eyebrows are all sort of slanting down, because we're just looking above it. So you get a little bit of like perspective thing going on there, but we're not going to get too carried away with that in this video. All right, so let's go up. This angel has fat eyelids over here. All right. So eyelid comes down, and then we have this part over here, And then we can go down this way. And this eyelid kind of comes down here. And now those tear ducts, ever important. A very good facial feature to use when you're making your self-portraits in the mirror. Just gonna get this eye shape. I think I've made the eyes too big, but that's because I'm a fan of anime. I'm so used to making big eyes. All right, so we have that. And maybe we can finish off. And there's a little bit of an eyebrow going up there. And then follow that angle of the line. Like I said, those are pretty fat eyelids over here. But I don't think I can make it that big on my drawing without ruining my drawing. Not that it would be ruined, but you know what I mean. All right. And there it is. Very pretty angel. Very nice. And maybe a line here. Let's see how. Cool. That says confident as I am to get that pupil in there. All right, so sometimes messing with angles too much will confuse you. So let's get ourselves reacquainted with this. If I go just straight down here, I get to the nostril. I'm just trying to see what the distance from this nostril to this tear duct is. And I'm pretty sure I got the distance right. Okay, because I don't want to give my angel too big of a nose. It's okay if you have big noses, but for our drawing, a big nose might not look correct. Cool. So again, the purpose of this project though is not so much being perfect, but the idea is to get as many of these done. 8 degrees in New York City. But no one will know because we can't go out. All right, so the bottom of the lip here. And I just turned off my timer because I'm running out of time. So let's wrap this up. How much space is below that nose? Maybe if you draw a note, just something to tell you where the top of the lip is. Cool. And this angel's sort of smiling like that. And now the top of the lip. Okay, I think I made that chin a little. Oh, you guys can't barely even see it. Hold on a second. Let's zoom in a little more. I made those eyes too big and the chin too small. But like I said, we're not going for perfect here, or else maybe I would work with a pencil and an eraser. I recommend for this project, we're trying to do as many faces as possible so we get used to it. So the idea is quantity over quality. That's why we even have a timer. Hold on a second. Which way is this supposed to go? Okay. Cool. Let's keep it right here. And let's sharpen the image. Oh. And let's sharpen the image. What? Okay. That's as good as it's gonna get, I think, there for today. All right, so yeah, I definitely made this chin a little too short, but that's okay. For this project, we're gonna live with our mistakes. The idea is to make as many drawings as you can, because what's the point of trying to make the most perfect drawing if you never get to the end of it? The idea with this too is that you kind of come up with your shorthand version of a drawing or a painting, and it goes pretty far back here. Oh, because there's a wing here as well. Okay. Not the best drawing of the afternoon. That chin is way too small. But we've run out of time, so normally I would do this in my notebook in the subway. And there you're really forced to just put the drawing down. Okay. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to clean my quill and bring up the next drawing for the next. Boom. Right. Second drawing of the second half. There she is. Okay. Just gonna do it right. Let me see if I can. Awesome. Okay. Oof, I'm gonna have to do that angel again on off stream, or else I might get a visit telling me, do I really look like that? No, you do not. What are you doing in my house? All right, so again, we don't have our favorite tool, which is the ear, but I'm going to start with the top of the forehead, starting at sort of the midpoint there, and then following that hair. Let me just make sure you guys can see that on stream. Cool. So sort of like an S shape. It helps if you guys name your shapes, either name the lines and when you're making shapes, naming the shapes. So that first line is sort of like a backwards S in a way. But here, we're gonna bring it up over here as well. And this is a very short sort of L shape, upside down L. She looks like she's tilting her head down a little bit, so I'm going to try to do that. And if you're just listening, if you're just entering the chat, if you're just tuning in, I'm working with a pen for this project because the idea is not to worry too much about being perfect, just putting a drawing down and finishing it basically, and being able to see your mistakes, see what you gravitate towards. Gonna get this face ready. Actually, I might do the outside over here. So she is tilting down in a way. Part of me wants to. Okay, so we're gonna bring her mouth down here. And there's a shadow that goes down here about this far. So I'm gonna put that endpoint there for her chin, but give her space to breathe a little bit. Boom. And then it comes up and around. And then you have sort of this shadow here. So then I'm going to just finish her hair so we at least have that. I think she'll be happy if we put her hair piece on. And then this part here, her hair kind of looks like one of those old school football helmets. You can even give her some details, something like this, these little hatch marks. And then we can come back up. This kind of goes up, and this goes up too. It's a little dark on my reproduction, but that's okay. Oof, I'm gonna have to fix that. This angel looks like just came out of an episode of Breaking Bad. On that blue crystal. Okay. Apologize to any angels that are offended by my drawing. But we live and we learn. I think she's coming out a little bit better though. Leonardo though, he was some other species of human. For real. So now we go down. Follow the necklace up, which kind of just meets up to this point. Cool. And over here. And then see how far the nose is going to go down actually. So the nose is pretty much this far away. It's got a very thin nose. All right, cool. And then here, and now the end points of her mouth are just there and just there. Okay. And we can even raise this a little bit more. I don't want to make her mouth too big, but I also have a drawing here that's separate, so my drawing's going to be slightly different. Another reason I'm using pen, and why I would be using a pen even if I was making a copy of a drawing, is so that I don't worry too much about the specific brush strokes or the pencil marks. So if, let's say, you're copying a drawing, maybe it's better to copy it using a pen or even a brush, just so that you're not trying to copy exactly. The idea is to learn how to look and how to observe and draw faces, not so much copying someone else's penmanship, for lack of a better word. All right, so 30 seconds left. I'm just gonna stop the timer and wrap up these. She's sort of smiling actually. She seems sort of severe, but she's also smiling like what's up? Now the top of that eyelid, and you gotta just draw what you see, you know? Sometimes your first instinct is the best. All right, this eyelid goes up pretty high. And it's pretty close to that hair. Boom. And now we can go down and over. And then come up. Right here. And then a little bit of this shadow underneath. And then finally we can meet that on this side. You can actually see her tear duct on the other side. And this line is pretty straight. A little curvature. And then let's see, that eye is kind of looking directly at you. Cool. Awesome. Maybe just give her, I don't even know what this is, but she seems like a royal lady. And yeah, cool. Awesome. Let's clean our quill. We still have 3 more drawings. Okay. Let's get back to Restream real quick. If you guys are listening, make sure you comment, subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube or Twitch. Make sure you follow your boy. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can do so by donating to the link you guys see up there under Venmo at Nelly INKS, or on YouTube, or on Cash App, $Nelly INKS. Appreciate you guys. Gonna wrap up these last 3 drawings and I'll be out of here. Let's see who this is. Oh, it's a little petit garçon. Let's draw the petit garçon. Boom. Very dark image. So like I said, I like to start with the ear, but maybe you have a situation where you are drawing live and there's a lot of shadow on the face, and maybe even if you like drawing faces, sometimes the whole thing's going to be obscured. Like, there's not really much to go by here, but it still works, and you're still drawing and you're still copying, and that's mostly what's important here. So let me add another 5 minutes. All right, let's just draw it right next to my lady. So what I know is that his head is sort of tilted down to one side. So I'll just do, so I'll just do that. Now the forehead, boom, and then bring it even further down. Boom. Let me give him some eyebrows so I know where that ends. I think I did that a little too high. And then the other eyebrow. So they're slanted down because you're looking above him, or you're looking down at him from above. And I think I see a little bit of this shadow over here. This eyebrows go much further than I'm used to drawing them lately, so I'm gonna take that into consideration. And now you have your boy's chin. If I just look, the chin ends basically right under that eye. And let's go up and down. Bam. All right. And so we go down, and from back here, I kind of see the ear, and I kind of don't. But this is a pretty good space. I think that's a pretty good spot too. Let's do this. We'll just do this part here. Going further back and up. And just draw what you see. Cool. I think, there you go. I think you might have just heard my cat on the stream. She's trying to break into my room. I might have to let her. All right, 2 minutes 30 left on this drawing. Now we go up. Just make a mark there for the top of the lip. And now the bottom of the lip. And his lips are slightly... Oh no, I did it again. I made that chin too short. There we go. So it's just going to be a strong shadow. Okay. So the bottom of the lip, the side of the... I'm not looking at this dead on, so... The side of the lip, the outside point is about right there. And then, again, everything's tilting down because we're looking at him from above. I'm going to add a slight part to the lip by just making that line a little heavier in the middle. And now we can draw the top of the lip, the top lip. All right, looks kind of like he's got his mouth open. All right, and there's this line here too. Yeah, that looks open. Cool. Hope your drawings are coming along well. Hope you're able to copy along with me or use this information to make your own copies. Again, we're not making a true copy per se. We're using this as a way to practice faces. We're not really, there's no mistakes in drawing, but we're not trying to go for complete accuracy. We're just trying to go for a finished drawing and a lot of them. Because you have to make a lot of mistakes in art in order to get better. And a lot of people don't even get there. With a lot of things too, I mean, you never know unless you finish really anything that you're doing. Because then you'll get to a certain point, and if you stop, you won't know what the ending looks like. So he's looking over there to the side. He's sort of looking at Our Lady there. He also has hair coming out from underneath. His hair is kind of going up like that. That first angel, poor angel. This chin just, it really is the chin that's bothering me. He seems like an evil angel. A fallen angel. Now he looks like he's got a beard. F it, dude. Alright. So let's wrap this up here. There's that strong shadow. Caravaggio would be a great person to look at to learn how to draw shadows. What you have to do first is draw an outline like I'm doing here. Basically, this is pretty much a line drawing without any shadows. Yeah, so it's a line drawing. I'm not worried about tone really. If anything, I'm maybe putting a little more weight on some of the lines. But for the most part, it's a line drawing. But Caravaggio, the artist that we're copying right now, would be a perfect person to look at. Like this big triangle shadow that he's got going on here, like we would definitely cover that. We would definitely be covering all of that with shadow, but not right now. All right, let's wrap that up there. Maybe you can't really see much else. It's got this sort of thing going on up here. He's got some frills like that. You can see part of the shadows like right here. If you want to do something like that to annotate where the shadow is, maybe you want to do something like this. It sort of gives you an idea of where those shadows are without actually drawing the shadow. Maybe you want to do something like this and it'll tell you a little more about the shadow work in play. I'm going to make a mark for the ear, and then he's just got sort of this big old hat. And then it comes up and around. All right, our fancy gentleman is complete, and now let's move on to our next drawing. Oh, I'm gonna be looking at this angel for a minute. Look at him, he's got a mustache now. Oh no. That's cool. Right on. Let's do 2 more and we will wrap this stream up. Really appreciate you guys listening, watching, tuning in. Make sure if you're watching, you comment. If you have a chance, make sure you subscribe if you're on Twitch or if you're on YouTube. Let's get back to it. Okay, we're done with the boy. All right. Some of you may recognize him. Jesus portrait here by Caravaggio. Jesus looking down at some food. This is from Caravaggio, The Supper at Emmaus. Favorite place to eat. Okay, where can I do this on my drawing? I can probably do it. Can you guys see the top of here? Yes. All right, cool. Clean my brush or my quill, my brush quill brush. And let's get this going. All right, 5 minutes. Starting now. Again, we don't have our favorite landmark to go off of, so I'm just going to start with the middle of his head. My man. Aye. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so we go around. Keep in mind, he's facing down a little bit. So a lot of these features are going to sort of, if I can do a drawing over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, right there, boom. So let's say this is the face that I'm drawing, that face. If you're looking down, all these lines are gonna be looking like that, okay? So for example, maybe this line, can you see that? And so this is going to be like the eyes, and then you'll have the mouth also facing down like that. And then you'll have the hair on top, obviously. Okay. But if your subject is looking up, or if you're looking under your subject, let's say that's the face again, then all these lines are going to be angled up like this. Okay, what the heck happened out there? Cool. And then, yeah, so your eyes, everything's going to be looking up that way. Okay, and one last thing, let's say, let me draw 2 more circles here. Cool. So maybe your two faces, they're not angled up or down, but if they're looking to the side, they're going to be looking like that, and then wrapping across for the face. Or likewise, you have a face that might be looking that way, so we use that midline. If you're using a pencil, you can do that and then erase, and you'll be able to do that quickly, but I'm using a pen, so no real erasing there. But then you would have your ear like right there, your ear over here, for example. Okay, and now let's put it both together. Let's have a face that's looking up and to the left. So let's do the lines looking, well, let's do the midline. The midline would be like that. And then the bottom of the chin, like this. The more you practice things like that, the better it'll help you with perspective. You can no, I'm not going to say that. I'll stick to my drawing here. So let me just reset my time. Cool. So the Jesus picture that we have up here is this one right here, where the lines are going down. You can see the nose on our portrait on our screen are looking down like that. The mouth as well is sort of got this like U shape going. Even the eyebrows a little bit are sort of go down like a U and then come down on this side a little bit. But especially the eyes have that U shape. This is kind of what he looks like. Cool. All right, so let's wrap it up. I'm gonna just do the mask of the face, come down to the chin, because apparently I like to make small chins, so here I'm not gonna fall into that mistake again. We'll fall into another mistake. Sweet. Alright, let's even give our man a neck. And the pit of his neck. And then, cool. So now we can even draw some hair here. A very curly hair. Very curly hair. Very good conditioner they had back in the day. Let me tell you what. And then we can even spiral these curls over here. And then, all right. And I'm just gonna finish his hair. And then we come up. All right. And do the hair over here that's tumbling over his shoulder. Cool. Awesome. And then just wrap it up. You can't really see it in the shadow, so I'm not gonna do too much with it. Cool. So let's see how far down can we say this eyebrow is. There's sort of this shadow over here that we can notate a little bit. And I'm gonna say it's kind of right there. So now I'm gonna follow. Ooh. If you're using a quill pen, maybe some hair gets on it. Just try to take it off so it doesn't ruin your inking. Thanks for joining us at Nelly INKS here on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube. All right, so I'm gonna follow the bridge of his nose, and so we don't get too long, I'm going to stop it right here from what I see. Yeah, and you could even, all right. All right. Maybe made that a little too big, but that's okay. We got 50 seconds left, so let's wrap it up. He also has his mouth slightly open. I'm going to start from, we have this chin here, sort of like there, and there's a little space between the top of your chin and the bottom of your lips. So I'm just going to try to respect that space as best as I can. And then the outside, he also has his head tilted too, so it's kind of tough to get this. Boom. And all right, cancel my timer just so it doesn't ring on stream. And here, the shape of his lips going up and down. And I'm going to add a little more ink just under here so it looks like his mouth is slightly open. And now we can finish the lips here by coming out here. There you go. Cool. So now these eyebrows come down a little bit more. Let's think about how much space we want to. That's a pretty big shape though, man. That's a pretty big shape. There's a slight bit of an eyelid there, but then the eyelashes pretty much. I mean, this guy is a master, bro. Look at this guy. I'm talking about Caravaggio. He's an amazing artist. Cool. It's a very cool guy to copy, especially if you want to learn about your shadows. He does some crazy things with shadows. Maybe we'll use him as a reference next time when we're maybe making more faithful copies of these paintings. But for now, we're just trying to get as many faces done. And there she is. All right. And this should be smiling up, actually. Cool. All right, one more drawing and we will wrap this up. Clean my brush. Oh, I keep saying brush. Yeah. Okay. We've been live for a minute here, so let's wrap this up soon. Let's just see how long we've been live. I'm going to try to stick to 3-hour streams till we get a little more interaction. Let's see where we're at here. Been streaming for 2 hours now. All right, let's do one more face. Hide this one. That one or this one? That's a little too small. Let's see. No, we did that already. Did that one. What's better, her or her? I kind of like hoodies. So we'll do that. Boom. And find our misses here. All right. Sweet. Let me see where I should put this drawing so you guys can all see it. If I move her... Oh, no. Don't do that to your stream. Okay. We'll put her right over here. Oh no. There we go. There we go. Cool. So we have this empty space over here that we're going to work in, and that'll be our last drawing of the day on stream. I really appreciate you guys listening. But first, some coffee. Comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. If you like the contents of this video, we've been making we have 11 or 12 faces that we've been doing for the last 2 hours, just trying to go over, sort of my thought process of how we do these. This practice takes references from online, from artists over the years, and you can also use photo references, but the idea is to copy as many hands and feet, and well, for this practice we're copying as many faces as we can. Normally I would copy 20 faces, so that I just practice that muscle. The idea is to just finish it. So if you have to put a timer on yourself, we're not trying to spend 20 minutes on each of these drawings, because then it becomes more of a master copy and we'd be looking at different things. The idea is to understand the shape, understand the little things, the most important lines that give you sort of the shape and the idea. So for example, our nun here, if I wanted to draw this as quick as possible, I would say, put more ink on your quill, and she's sort of looking down like this, and up and over, and maybe her nose like that, and she's sort of sad. So if you do a bunch of these, and if you do them a bunch of these every day, especially now that most of us don't really have anywhere to be, then you'll sort of understand the most important lines in a drawing or a photo, or in a subject that you can hold on to make a finished drawing with the least possible line work. So you can definitely get a drawing done in 5 minutes. It might not be the most detailed thing, but the more you do it, the more detail you will have. And you'll learn sort of like shortcuts in terms of line work in order to pass along your idea. So something like that. But let's give ourselves 5 minutes. Really appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you hit the chat section if you are listening, and I'll shout you back out. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Nelly INKS. If you guys want to check out my work, you can go to nelsonanunez.com. You'll see my graphic novel there. If you click the cover page, you'll be able to order it. Otherwise, you can read it online for free. But if you want a hard copy, you can order it there, have it delivered to you via the link on the website, Nelson A. Nunez. And if you like this stream and you want more content like this, you can support the stream by donating to the Venmo at Nelly INKS, or go to the Cash App, $Nelly INKS. Really appreciate you guys following me today. If you guys are listening now or in the future, make sure you comment. And this is our last drawing today on stream. Let's just get into it, man. All right, so she's gonna be right. What's the end point? Right there. Okay. Oh. All right. So the end point's right there, right? I'm gonna put a border so I don't go past that. Okay. So with that being said, I'm just gonna start the cowl which goes way up here and then way down here. Okay. Let's see. That seems pretty good. Okay. And then you have this area here. And then this goes back here and then comes back around. This area here goes down. Apologies. And then we bring that down here. Kind of gets cut off there. And I don't think I went high enough, but that's okay. Cool. So now we have another sort of head wrap that she has. We can go down and do the same thing. Sort of follow this line work there. And let's bisect her hood right there, because that goes straight down. And here I have to be careful. Think about how wide. Yeah. So then this wraps back around. Okay. So at this intersection, I'm going to bring that there. And then here, actually, let's wrap this. See a little bit of the white of her head wrap. And then we have lines going just straight down here. And these lines all come down there. And this line as well. Cool. And then she has more lines under here that we don't really have to worry too much about. But we can. All right. So then these lines wrap up. So now you kind of have already, without any features or anything, we have sort of the shape of her head, which is great. Okay. And then over here. So now we can just wrap this up there. About 1:30 left on my timer. All right. We have to bring this further down. And we come down further here. And go down there. And then more lines down there. And finally, we can finish the mask of her face. And it comes here. And here. All right. And then we come down there. And let's see. Cool. We have to be careful because we have her lips there. We can even play around with the expression. She's sort of sad. I think she's looking at something upsetting. And let's do her eyebrows like that. And coming down again. And then her nose. All right. And then her lips up here. And then the space between her lips and her nose. Boom. Boom. Cool. Oops, I'm getting into my camera here a little bit. All right. And now she also has her lips down here. And then you can also see this big shadow. And let's do her second eyebrows. Finish off her eyebrows there. Gone over the timer, but that's okay. Let's just wrap this up. Last drawing of the day. There's not a lot of rise on her eyelids, especially from this angle. And her eyes are definitely pretty wrinkly. Cool. Right on. She definitely has more wrinkly features here as well. So maybe we'll do that just so we don't go too far down. And over here, I'm gonna bring those wrinkles even further. And over there, we'll do this. So now she looks like a proper old lady. Now we can go down and up. And now you can finish her eyes here. Cool. And now with her eyes looking down, we can do this. And voila. Voila. Like this. Okay. Cool. And I'm gonna just shade her eyes in a little bit. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm wrapping this up here a little bit. Her eyelids. Cool. There she is, very upset at the current situation of lockdown. She's very disappointed we're all in lockdown, but she can rest assured that you guys are hanging out with your boy, Nelly INKS. You guys can find me here every day around 1:30, let's say 1:30 and 2, okay? I don't want to say 2 o'clock because I'm trying to get here by 1 o'clock, but 1:30 at the latest, otherwise 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to be here every day. We'll see what happens on Thursday because I do have a little bit of work to do. But otherwise, we're going to be a daily stream, at least while we're in our first week here on Twitch and on YouTube. But if you like the let me get rid of this image so you guys can see what we've done. If you like the contents of this video, I ask you guys to hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If not, you guys can just subscribe on Twitch and on Twitch and on YouTube, Nelly INKS, at twitch.tv/Nelly INKS, or on YouTube, Nelly space INKS. Some people are watching on Facebook. I appreciate it. We had some people in the chat. We have Anya in Facebook. Very cool, she says. Thank you for joining me. We also had a bunch of people on Facebook watching. We had a couple people on Twitch as well. I don't have those windows up right now, unfortunately, but really appreciate everyone that came through. To all my family that's paying attention, all my friends, and all the new people on Twitch that were tuning in. Really appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. If you want to support this channel, you can do so by donating via the links on the picture here. Venmo at Nelly INKS. Again, Venmo at Nelly INKS. If you guys want to donate, I will read your donations if you do. Also, you can go to the Cash App, $Nelly INKS. Really appreciate it. We also have a, we also have a website. That's what you call it. You call it a website. We have a website called Nelson A. Nunez, NELSONANUNEZ. Nelson A. Nunez. NUNEZ. You guys can go there, read my comic book, The Almighty Alma. Appreciate it. It's available digitally for free. If you guys like that, you can donate via the links. And if you want this beautiful piece of work delivered to you, if you want a hard copy, trade paperback, it is available to order on nelsonanunez.com. Otherwise, come back tomorrow. We'll be live around 1, let's say 1:30, just to be on the safe side. Good. We're trying to get on at 1, but I'll probably be troubleshooting, and we'll be drawing by 1:30 full shizzle. So let me go over here. But yeah, man, really appreciate it. Still trying to get the hang of this whole thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm pushing my computer to the limit, but at least we can do this. You guys see the faces that we did. Hopefully you guys learned a little something, some lessons for you guys to do. We also did these drawings here, so you guys can go spend some time later and maybe pull up some images of your favorite artists, whether they're comic book artists or fine artists. Pull up as many drawings by them. Don't spend too much trying to just like copy it exactly, because then you're just copying someone else's work. The idea is to copy the work, draw as many hands and feet and faces as you can. I recommend 20 hands, 20 faces, 20 feet in a day. Let's give yourself a day time limit. And the more you do, the more simple your line work becomes. The more you'll notice the things that make the faces and the hands and the feet work. So don't worry about making it perfect or an exact copy. If you put yourself on a time limit, that's one way you can do it, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But don't spend any more time than that. The idea is just to bang out the faces and the feet and the hands that you copy. And yeah, man, if you guys want, you could email me, get in touch, nellyinks@gmail. I would love to see your work. Again, we'll be on live tomorrow. We're probably going to be doing maybe a still life. We'll see. But you guys can get in touch. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. If you're on YouTube, you can leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video and others. Yesterday we made a self-portrait. Today we made some faces. Okay. So this is your boy Nelly Inks. I'm gonna be signing off. Appreciate you guys popping through. Hope you are all well. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bless up.